Here we are in Belmont, rich, prosperous, leafy, suburb of Boston. This is where Mitt Romney comes from. This is where we start our journey looking at the American economy, the crucial issue in this year's presidential election. When Obama came to power 4 years ago, he came in during one of the worst recessions in America's history. The economy has pretty much flatlined since then. Unemployment is still where it was when he came to power. The recovery has been weak and tepid. We want to find out why it is that Obama's message of hope back in 2008 has fallen on deaf ears in 2012. Mitt Romney has a 5-point plan for the American economy, which he says will create more jobs and get America up and running again as a global powerhouse. I've come to Boston to talk to a number of economists, including Kevin Gallagher, about what they think of Romney's plan. The polls show this one is too close to call, and there is the chance that Mitt Romney will be the president in a month's time. Do you think his economic plan stacks up?
His economic plan is remarkably thin. For someone who's been running for about 7 years, it doesn't have a heck of a lot of details to give it the benefit of the doubt. But from when we do take a look at it, it looks like it gives us a larger deficit, and then it puts in place austerity plans that isn't going to grow the economy. So if you've got a larger deficit, you're not growing the economy, I would expect employment to get worse and the situation to get worse.
I used to tell people, I said, well, we're so lucky that the Tories are doing what they're doing in England, because now we know that austerity policy will just push us into a second recession, so we won't do it. I don't think the Americans paying attention. And certainly the talk of mostly from Republicans, but also from some Democrats, is, gee, we've got to do the austerity thing, and it may not even solve your deficit problem, because if it pushes you down enough, the tax revenues fall, and suddenly you find you're having as big or worse a deficit than you had before you did the austerity cuts.
Economists seem to be sceptical about Romney's plan. They say it's very thin, it hasn't been properly costed, and it looks very much like some of the failed plans of Republican presidents in the past. What they fear is that the big cuts in government spending will lead to austerity being imposed on the American economy in the way that austerity has been imposed on European economies. And what that will mean is lower levels of growth, lower levels of employment, and a bigger budget deficit and a bigger debt problem further down the road.